So today I'm recording, I guess this is supposed to be a video. Me looking at comments, proving this comment. It's nothing special. It's one of my older videos, I guess. Okay, let's look at here. So recently I responded to, I think, maybe one of his comments, or maybe it was somebody else's. There we go. Yeah, so he had a suggestion for what we should name. Hold up, you guys can't even see my face. There we go. What was I saying? So we're just kind of looking at comments on some of the videos. Now, this video that we uploaded very recently with me cooking food got quite a bit of attention. It got like, I don't know, more comments than I usually would, so I'm not sure how it's doing for a like ratio or whatever. But anyways, I went ahead and thumbs up some of their comments, of course. We hearted that one, because why not? Yeah. Okay, so I don't know, like, basically I'm just recording this because I wanted to go through with like some responses and like turn it into a video, right? Okay, so we have this comment about me finding a bug in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This guy says, Golden Experience Requiem ending. I'm not sure what that means. Then he says, why do you have dark side materia on Earth? Blah blah blah. And so then I say, it makes your transcendence hit harder, and then blah 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 blah. Anyways, and then we have this video where something weird was going on the microphone. I have no idea what it was. I do know on some of my videos my microphone has been very quiet, and that's annoying, and hopefully with today's video that's been fixed. There's a comment asking me about the how I handled the final phase of the boss fight. So okay, how do I want to explain this? So I was mostly using Cloud, for the record, not Aerith. First of all. But then, to read my actual response, what did I say? I said, first of all, I did beat him. It's not like this was me giving up on the game or anything, right? Anyways, on normal and dynamic, his HP was a lot less. And as such, I didn't even see this last move of his or something like that, right? Anyway, this was on hard. The last move, I beat him off stream. Took all night to get through chapter 14. Some of the dozen or so battles are really tough depending on your setups, right? Because you know, I had to use a variety of characters like Barret and Red, for example, blah blah blah. Anyway, I didn't always have HP up materia, so in this case I didn't have it on Aerith, so she was actually getting one-shotted if she doesn't block. And when you're not controlling her, she often won't block, well, she often will too. It's complicated. Whenever you try to control her, I don't know. Anyways, like it, blah blah blah. I don't really have a whole lot of excuses. Like I would when I did this, like I was still learning the game. To be perfectly honest, the weird thing about the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth game is as you play through the game, you get very limited combat experience. You can't just like do a boss over again unless you reload your game, which was not something that I was typically doing. And the same goes for the minions. The minions were generally not respawning in this game. So the most combat experience you're going to get, unless you're doing lots of game reloading, is probably just going to be Chadley Combat Simulator missions. That's going to be the most experience you're going to get in the game for combat. So I didn't actually start getting good at the game until like sometime, I would say after, like a long time after, I already completed each of the single character challenges in Chadley's Combat Simulator. Like I still like didn't understand how to fight the Iron Giant guy, whatever he's called, properly until I had to fight him like dozens of times in the Zack and Cloud challenge. Because there, he's like round 7 out of 10 or whatever. And I kept getting tripped up on round 9 and 10. And so I had tons of experience fighting him. Maybe he was round 6, I don't know. He was around 6 or 7. Anyways, the point is, he was later on in the run, not necessarily pretty early, but he was still at a point where I had to fight him a lot. Anyways, and like you have to fight him as only Cloud. I'm gonna stress this. Like Zack, you have no control over his build, so sometimes, like especially against like Iron Giant or whatever, if you're not controlling him, he's just gonna get knocked out, and it's like I don't want to have to revive him, so I kind of had to solo him with Cloud, and it's not like I hadn't done it before, but because I have to do it repeatedly and not just do it one time, I essentially like forced myself to come up with better strategies. Strategies weren't as slow, but also were relatively safe, you know, and it took a long time for me to figure out what I could do differently. But I eventually got really good at that battle, and this was like well before I did any of those challenges, right? So I just want to say that I've gotten a lot better at the game since then. Anyway, and yeah, I of course I never tried to use Quega on him as the common reads and blah blah blah. What's this? You're just bad. Yeah, that's true. I'm just bad. Okay, this part is a little bit unfair. He says you've played this battle twice, which is not true. So you can do hard mode version of this battle like right away, right? I mean, like, you start on normal or dynamic or easy or whatever. You go through and then you just do chapter 14 again on hard. Like, there's nothing getting in your way. There's no reason for him to assume that I've done this twice. I don't know why he's like talking like that. Probably just trying to make me seem worse than I actually am or whatever. Then I ask him, are you talking about using Prey? That's a good idea. I didn't have enough mathematical information to know what would happen. This is during my first session trying to beat him on hard mode in particular when he has a lot more HP than he would otherwise. I don't even know how much it is, but it's a lot. A hit of 9999, for example, is barely noticeable. I was trying to avoid that final move of his, which will screw me over. So the funny thing about Transcendence is it will hit multiple times, so it ended up hitting a lot of damage. Anyways, yeah, it's funny. I think the virtual Sephiroth might have, I don't know if he has less HP or about this, approximately the same HP or how much HP he's got exactly. But things are like so different because like the movesets and like speed of using the IDs and whatever. I don't know. Anyway, Anyway, moving on. So, what's this? Level heads hard as green clocks. So we have a comment here. I had 1 minute 26:56 as my PB before this for Sacrifice the Box. You can confirm. Pop shot level was 39.65 seconds. I'm not sure why I'm commenting this, but anyway, I only had 6 minutes to 48. I guess the reason why I left this comment here is to establish to the viewers that you have to do better than these times. You have to do better than these times if you want the green clock. So these were my times before I got the green clocks. In other words, like, I probably tried speedrunning them before. Yeah, I must have. And that was as good as I could get. Like, think about that for a minute. Like, I was speedrunning in level and I still, like, I was giving up on it, and because it was too hard. I was like, my best was only 6 minutes. Anyways, moving on. We have me having a League of Legends video. I might make another League of Legends video soon because people still apparently watch it. Like, they don't necessarily always like the content, but I think it's pretty consistent. Like, I may be a nobody on Twitch still, but I think people are enjoying my YouTube content for League of Legends, so I gotta keep pumping that out, it looks like. Thank you, Lil Sush, for your comment. Been trying Tark and Lulu out, this person says, for jungle. Lulu is she's funny because I think that she needs a little bit of a buff. She needs a little bit of like a Riot extra damage to jungle monsters buff to really shine. But being able to play in the jungle is so cute because of the jungle pets. Because she already has a pet, you know what I mean? She's got like Pixie or whatever it's called, like following her around, helping her out. And then the jungle pet on top of that, you have like 3 characters there. It looks like a monster sanctuary party, you know what I mean? It's so cute. I love it. So her getting smite, I love it. But I haven't played her in a while, mostly because it's not competitive, I think. But I think Tark is like, it's fine. His clear speed's like, I don't think it's great. He could use some extra damage to jungle monster. He doesn't technically need it. Most of the reason why he doesn't need it is mostly just because his champion is so strong at fixed location battling, right? Especially with lots of walls. So what I mean to say is it's really easy for him and, you know, whoever he's burying his gems, him and his fellow gem bearer, it's easy for them to stun people in these pits. And if people can't move around because there's a wall in the way, it's harder for them to get away from his basic attacks. And if they can't get away from his basic attacks, he's going to keep healing and keep shielding and keep stunning. So I think just because of the nature of his kit in particular being really great for team fights in objective locations, I think that's the main reason why Jungle Tark continues to work. It's been very resilient. I, in particular, have not been taking advantage of this as much as I could be. Lately, this season, I've just been playing lots of support. I did take some time out away from doing whatever and played some top lane for a while because I was tired of getting dumb bottom lane teammates or support or whatever, and I just kind of wanted to, like, you know, emotionally distance myself from the team a little bit by playing top lane, and that was nice for a little while, but I kind of gave up on that. Anyways, but I have not been streaming any of my League of Legends content lately, but I'm probably gonna get back to doing that sooner or later. If for no other reason, then we can like make some clips, maybe make a highlight. But I think maybe continuing to just record like a replay or whatever in a YouTube format might be what people are interested in, because like I can make clips and I can try to like sort of copy what others YouTubers do with their clip reels or whatever you want to call it. But first of all, that's very time consuming because I don't have people to take clips for me, and I don't have a lot of people watching the stream. That's not really a great idea. And plus, the whole concept of having the entire gameplay like shown, and then like it's just kind of lazy as a highlight for your stream or whatever. While I'm like talking or playing the game or whatever it is that I'm doing while the game's going on. That's something that people already do, and people aren't necessarily interested in experiencing that. And while I'm not going to say that people don't upload replays, I mean videos of them watching replays, I'm not going to say that doesn't happen, but it's something that doesn't happen as commonly as those other choices. So what I guess I mean to say is, because I mean if we look at this real quick here, this is a video. Okay. See, this is a video where I'm right here, and I'm booting up the replay, right?
So he's not mastered.
And so there's the replay interface right there. You can see it. So this video is about me watching replays. So I think I'm gonna continue to upload this kind of content, because it's a little bit different from and therefore might be seen as viable, I guess, by you guys, I hope. Anyways, Lightning Returns cutscene in the background. Oh, because I was lurking in somebody's Lightning Returns stream. That was my own comment. For the flood, global deluge, whatever you want to call it, people lived long lives. Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure why she was talking about that, but I was talking about narcissists being God wannabes. Probably has something to do with, narcissists wanting to be like God. And before the flood, having that longer life probably gave us a lot more time to know things and to learn things and stuff than we do have now. I would say nowadays knowledge learning can be very fast-paced sometimes, and sometimes it can be a little bit more fast-paced than it, I don't know. Anyways, that's like a topic for another video entirely. Journey of Hope, I don't remember this comment. I said I don't understand the question. It was in response to a specific thing I said in the video. You might want to put a timestamp comment, follow your chain of thought. I don't know what I was saying, but it was informative. How do you timestamp something? And then I tell her. The fourth format that does away with the colon and instead has t equals at the start. And all you have to do is paste a copied code that you'd get from a right-click context menu for copy this timestamp or whatever the option is titled to find out what the format is. So, in other words, this is how you do it. So we're at 2:19 right now. So if we were watching this,
and if I had been there, there would have only been 3, and so that would have been.
And then we're like, hey, wait a minute, back up.
I'll let them have their first one.
And then, like, say for example,
just 2 of us, and if I had been there, there would have only been 3, and so.
You want to ask the streamer, hey, at 16:45, what is that thing over there on the left? That's brighter green than the other greens, right? Just as an example of a comment. So you right click, like actually, yeah, you can right click pretty much anywhere. Copy video URL at current time. You grab that, yeah, there we go. And then so this gives you the timestamp. I'm not sure why told her this. Oh, because it gives you the format, right? Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. I'm confused. I feel like this comment doesn't make sense. Okay, let me explain. Alright, so if I'm writing a comment, 1645, you literally just type that. So 1645, this is a test. What is that thing on the left that is brighter green than the stuff around it? There we go. And that is how you timestamp. You just do that. That's this. Okay, see, look, when you click on this, let's see what happens. So right now the URL says this, right? Question mark V this and that. Okay, let's click on this.
That would have been suicidal. Sin is not really a good dragon
it didn't work.
Steelers, so that would have been suicide.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Anyway, so it doesn't change the URL, it doesn't reload anything, it just kind of like moves it over to there. So
that would have been.
So that's one way of doing a timestamp. That's the super basic way of doing it. For some reason, I told her the complicated way of doing it, and the reason why it's the complicated way of doing it is because it's when you're not at the video yet. So you would do it this way.
So that would have been
there.
Suicidal. Sin is not really a good dragon.
There, you see what I mean? So, of course, it doesn't start as paused. That would be cool if there was a way to do that. But it's, it's only a few seconds. You can just like press left with the arrow key, and it'll take it back 5 seconds, and then you'll be able to see it in a couple of seconds. There we go. So, I'm wondering if there's a way to have this read as with the video already paused, because that could be potentially quite helpful. Anyways, let's stop talking about that. It's, hopefully this is the information that she needed. I should have already left that comment. You know what, here, I'm just going to reply again. There we go. There's the better answer that I should have gave her. I don't know what the heck is wrong with me sometimes when it comes to replying, but there we go. Something about, I read your comment, Brianna. I think she's talking about white here. Video, and yeah, on Stranger Gaming Convention, we're going to have another one. I'm not sure what she's talking about, or he, or whatever. They were just commenting on League of Legends, which is strange because I don't think Brianna White's ever played League of Legends, but whatever. Just looked at a random YouTube video for some reason. Kirby sound awesome is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm not. Oh my goodness, this person's English. I'm not sure what they're trying to say here. For some reason, I gave this a heart. I don't know. I should go through here and like some of these comments here. What am I missing here? I liked those. Am I missing? Did I forget any? Oh, maybe I didn't. I mean, what's this? I didn't like this one. Okay. Anyway, all right. So where are we? We have Bingobo here. This is me first clearing levels. Bingobo says these levels aren't hard, guys. Bingobo doesn't really play the game much himself. I feel like he spends more time building levels than he does playing them, but he definitely, he tends to play. I'm not sure what he plays nowadays, but I know he's been quite the Minecraft gamer. I'm not sure how much he's been building versus playing in that game or whatever, blah blah blah. But anyway, I'm surprised I wasn't able to like convince him to try level head. Anyways, moving on. Oh, Iki Brady commented on this video. First level, NSKS risks death trying to get the key. It doesn't go in the door. Oh, he's talking about the first level in the video where it presented me first clearing stuff. So this is a fellow Twitch streamer, in case you're wondering. To be fair, nobody knew that the key was optional, but I've found that funny myself. That's the beauty of first clears. Sometimes the course is easier than we think it is. Right. The floor is entirely made of one tick. Okay, so this is somebody commented on me asking a question during one of my videos or something like that. This was a fellow Levelhead maker, just as Bingobo's a fellow Mario Maker 2 maker. Anyway, he was giving me some advice on level building, and I appreciate that. James Partridge, dude, you ulted LeBlanc's clone. And I said, oh, I didn't realize, weird. I was Brand. So I already left a comment for that, so we'll just have that for our response. Oh yeah, let's give this a comment, like. We don't want to forget to like some of these good comments. If you look, she accidentally casted her ult on the LeBlanc. Kale's ult can be self-cast or cast on an ally. In this case, it looks like the player tried to cast on herself, but missed and made LeBlanc invulnerable. So, from what Brett Tuff is saying, it sounds like what James meant is that whoever was playing the Kale is the one that cast ultimate on LeBlanc's clone. I guess. I don't know, we could watch the video and find out if that's true or not, but maybe we both casted ultimate on the clone, who knows, but I doubt it. Anyways, I just didn't bother to confirm what was going on, but this guy's been quite helpful, as you can see. I'll give this one a heart. I said I use self-cast, so I guess I was being dumb again. So I guess what was going on here was something like, if I were playing Kale, I would press the self-cast hotkey for R. So if we look at the keyboard, well, I should probably rotate the camera here so I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here. So if you look at this keyboard, okay, we have this over here is F. We have G, H, J. So for me, when I play League of Legends, my Q is my F. My Q is my F. W is G, E is H, and J is R. Now, I also have it set up so that these are self-cast versions, self or quick cast sometimes. Or I mean both, or whatever, you know what I mean, trying to say. So this is self-cast Q, self-cast W, self-cast E, and self-cast R. So when I'm playing Kale, I don't even have to use my mouse to use my ultimate, you know what I mean? I just press M, and then boom. I just casted the ultimate on myself. So it's just one button on the keyboard because it's self-cast, and that's what I do. So I just assumed the other Kale players also have just as easy of a time being able to ultimate themselves, but not all of them do. Some of them are gonna like try to click on themselves, which is not very efficient. Anyway, I haven't really been enjoying Kale's censor rework all that much. I played her for a little while, but what I wanted to do was I kind of wanted to play her as support, but everybody hates on her for you picking her support. They're always like, oh, you should be getting gold and get your items or whatever, or get leveled up, get your level 16. You can't do either of those two things, like hanging out as a support, right? Like, you're gonna share lane experience with somebody else. You're not even be prioritized for getting gold. It's got to go to your bottom lane partner, especially with the way the income item works. You get penalized when you try to take too many minions. So, of course, I kind of stopped playing her before that latest change to the income item, but regardless, yeah, it's worse now than it ever has been, so I wouldn't even suggest anybody experiment with it. I mean, they have a point. Like, she can be somewhat gold reliant, and she is somewhat reliant on getting her level 16. If they changed her ratios a little bit and changed like some base values on some of her abilities, it would definitely be stronger. But anyway, where were we? I'm not sure why I started talking about that. I guess I just mean to say that I like to play a lot of support, and so I tend to not play champions if I can't play them as support. Anyways, so what do we have here? We have me timestamping something. Oh yeah, that's actually 6 minutes ago. Hard mode Thwomp defeat is possible, by the way. I just sometimes forget what I tested and what I didn't when I watch others play. And what I mean is that there is more than one way to defeat him in both modes. So this was me referring to a Mario Maker 2 level, and this was me as a viewer watching somebody else play my Super Mario Maker 2 level. So this video is us watching a streamer playing Mario Maker 2, and you could probably see my chat in the video somehow, whether my chat shows up on Muffin's stream scene or what. That's probably the case. But anyway, this also just sort of explains something to him specifically in case he's watching the video or whatever. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and heart this even though it's my own comment. I'm not going to give it a like though, I'm just going to heart it just because I feel like this needs to be spotlighted or whatever. Anyway, maybe it would be anyways, but whatever. Then we have a comment, Koos playing Coin Grab Gauntlet 12. So this was another Super Mario Maker 2 video, or I mean level that I built, and it's another streamer playing my level. I already responded. His microphone was recording some noise in the background, so I just replaced it with music. I figured it matches the course's difficulty. Oh, that's interesting. I forgot about that. Anyway, then we have another reply here to a different level. Explorer Guild hosting the Maker. Wait, that's not a level. Hold up. It was like a fantastic challenge. I'm looking forward to playing the courses that come out of it. And then it was 3 years ago. Oh, this was another streamer. That was just him being nice. I don't know if he actually played any of those levels. There's like, I feel like people are often fake nice. Whatever. Anyway, shout out to the 16 Luigi's that gave their lives so Morph could clear the course. Wow. That's funny. I like that. We're gonna heart that. I mean, that's my own comment, but I don't remember making it. That's great. Anyways, this was a level. Okay, I'm gonna just give you guys some context. This level is called Coin Grab Gauntlet 10, and the reason why I liked this video so much is because, okay, first of all, let me clarify a few things. I was building a lot of coin collecting levels in Mario Maker. I wasn't necessarily doing it because, I don't know, any particular reason. I just wanted to, my main thought process was I wanted players to explore the levels. And so I thought, way to force the player to go to all the places that I want them to go is just put a coin there and say, oh, now you have to collect all the coins. Easy, right? Now the player has to go everywhere and check out everything, interact with everything, collect the coins. So the very first level I put in this game was a 3D world style level, and it gave you a cat suit. I remember originally I wanted to mess around with the auto scroll and combine that with the clear condition. But I was like, nah, I'm not good enough at the game yet to build a level like that. And so we just scrapped the concept of auto scroll entirely at first. But this very second level I built was auto scroll, but it was not 3D world style, since I wasn't good at that yet. It was Super Mario World style instead. So, anyways, eventually, after making 4 catsuit coin collecting levels, my 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th level were the following 4 levels. They were the same thing, but now with auto scrolling, right? So things start to get pretty wild, and it's essentially what I was originally planning on doing when I first started wanting to build a level. And like at that point I felt like I actually was starting to get good at the game, you know what I mean? So and a lot of people really struggled on a lot of these levels. The first level in particular, what people thought was very hard. So the second, or I should say the 5th, but you know what I mean. And then I made an easier level after that because people were like, oh, it's too hard, right? So, and then it's like, it's too easy now. So I was like, let's just do a harder one maybe. And then, oh, that's too hard again. So let's make it an easier one again. That's kind of what happened. Anyways, so we had 2 harder ones and 2 easier ones for auto scroll catsuit coin collecting. Anyway, and I liked those levels a lot, and then I was like, but people want casual levels. So then I made like the star coin continuation of the series, what it goes through from 9 to 15 or whatever. You collect like 15 star coins or whatever, they're big coins, you know, across 5 levels. You collect all of them, and then you play the 6th level, and that will be a Star Road level, essentially. Like, you still have to collect 3 more coins if you want 100% the series, but yeah, so it was so cool because that was the first time I ever made a castle level in 3D World style. I had been resistant to using that style entirely. I didn't like the SMBU castle either, mostly because the flames, like, my eyes were like going through some problems. I had some health issues, and so I had a difficult time with the bright fiery colors, like lava or magma or whatever on those levels. And so they really bothered me, and so I would oftentimes turn it to grayscale or invert the colors or whatever when playing such levels, or maybe I would skip them entirely if I ended up getting like endless challenge or rear levels or something like that. It was very hard for me to deal with. But anyways, not only did eventually my health improve, but also like Nintendo released like grayscaling and color inversion for these kinds of levels, and I might have used that during clear check of this level. back when I played it. But anyways, but yeah, this was cool because I was able to take advantage of the grayscale, like I said, for playing the level. And I'm going on this big like lore dump rant right now, but pretty much like I made a wide variety of levels, not just coin collecting. Like we have like extermination challenges that I've uploaded, inspired from Lightning Returns, right, from RPG Final Fantasy 13, right? And so and there's other stuff too, but one of the things that I've been the most known for is the coin collecting. And I think people generally prefer the coin collecting stuff, probably because it feels a little bit more Mario, over the extermination challenge stuff. Because the extermination challenge tends to lean more towards RPG feeling, you know what I mean? Because obviously they were inspired by RPGs. Anyways, so one of the thoughts that occurred to me when the super world availability came to Mario Maker 2, when we were able to build super worlds, it was interesting because sometimes you would play somebody's super world and there would be like 2 routes to the final level of the map. One route might have had easier levels and another route could have harder levels. And I thought that's really cool. And so I designed a coin collection super world like that on some of the maps, and that was fun. Well, I had like 3 different versions of a coin collection super world. I think Iki Brady was one of the streamers that played through the 3rd one all the way through. And then he played through the Extermination Super World, which is the one that's up now on my main account. So your super worlds, you can only have one uploaded at a time, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would have potentially had 4 super worlds up on there. The funny thing is, in your super world bot, or whatever it's called, you can actually have 6 super world that you're working on in your super world bot, right? In other words, like you could save your progress of 6 different super worlds that you're working on, but only one of these can be uploaded. So I find that ironic that it's just 1 out of 6. Like, that's very weird to me. Like, okay, first of all, you only have enough courses that you can upload on your account for 2.5 super worlds to be uploaded if the super worlds have a full complement of 40 courses. It's the maximum number of courses a super world can have. Well, I say courses instead of levels because that's the official term for levels. You could make a course that would theoretically have more than 1 level in it. Depends on how you define level. Anyways, so yeah, the what was I trying to say here? The point is, the Super World update got me thinking about easy and hard mode, giving the player the option to choose. And I thought, why not do that in an individual course? So that's where the idea for Coin Grab Gauntlet came from. And so I said, we should mix the 2 styles of play. A sort of like an extermination challenge. It's not really going to be an extermination challenge, but you're going to have to fight a lot of enemies. You're going to be set up with like a fighting power-up is the idea, and then you fight a bunch of enemies with your fighting power-up. Like, pretty basic stuff, right? And I thought, what better way to start off the series than by using Boomerang. It's a new power-up for 3D World style. Let's use the Boomerang power-up for the very first level of the new series. So you have Coin Grab Gauntlet 1, we go down, So you go into a pipe, and you keep going down, and then you go into another pipe, and then you clear the level. But while you're going down, in the second zone, you're fighting a bunch of enemies, and you have to collect coins along the way. The enemies are kind of like trying to get in your way of collecting the coins. Excuse me. Anyways, the point is the entire coin grab gauntlet is just going through like a gauntlet, essentially, just exactly how it sounds, and you have to do that for each level in the series, and you get it like a different power up each time. So actually, for a couple of the levels, I actually decided to make it sort of like a pacifist, or was it only one of them? I don't remember. Maybe it was just the one. Pacifist challenge, if that makes sense. So in other words, well, actually not necessarily pacifist, but I mean, for the most part, you weren't really using a fighting power-up when you had the frog suit, right? The frog suit's not really a fighting power-up, so that was interesting. That was the 4th level in the series. In level 2, you did get a gray shell, and I guess it was similar to 4 in that it was kind of like a water level, but it wasn't really the same because you were able to kill things with your shell. In fact, there was a boss fight that you had to do with the gray shell. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. So the point is, the 10th level, the fighting power-up was the cat suit. You see where I'm going with this? And because it was the cat suit, and I had so many cat suit levels already, I wanted this one to be the hardest level yet in the Coin Grab Gauntlet series. So it's a pretty difficult one. I think Morph might have first cleared it. I'm not sure. He probably did. Whatever the case, he's definitely the first streamer to have played it that I could think of that beat it, I mean, anyways. I probably watched I'm sure I watched other people play it because he was already pretty popular at the time. But people would play it and fail to beat it or something, or I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe other people first cleared it before him. But whatever the case, he didn't struggle with it as much as some other people, and for whatever reason, I decided to feature him as the one clearing the course on my YouTube channel. I'm not sure why I did these streamer shoutouts on my YouTube channel. I don't know, like, I feel like I thought people would appreciate me showing off them playing my levels, but it seems like people in general either don't care or they think it's rude or something. But I think it's like to me, I kind of have like, I think it's something that I would expect them to have fond memories of, you know what I mean? But whatever. I mean, they're not the ones who built the levels, so they're not as emotionally invested in it as I am, I guess. So to them, it's just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't care that much about my viewers. Not that necessarily all of them are like that, but I do remember that Morph at one point followed my channel and then never typed a word in my channel, ever. Now, granted, he's a very busy man, and but whatever. Anyways, him along with a lot of other people, I eventually scrubbed them as viewers from my Twitch channel. I didn't know if this was a good idea to do or not at the time, but I thought maybe it could help, because I remember I was weirded out by the fact that I would stream so much Mario Maker 2, and I wouldn't get viewers like other people would. And so I decided to do as somebody else suggested you could do, is if you have fake followers, you could just delete them. And so I did that. I just pretty much removed almost all of my followers from my Twitch account. And a side effect of that happening, which Morph was aware of, I think other people noticed too sometimes, it stopped me from following Morph. Like it had, I think it like blocked him too or something. So I like removed that, and I'm not sure if I'm continuing to not follow him right now, but his streams do get continued to be recommended to me. It's kind of funny. Like, I think I could follow him if I wanted to, but anyway, there's just sort of like this funny like thing where like it would be weirder if like he was following me and never watched my stream, and then if I was not following him and always watched his stream. But I don't think he's actually following me technically because I removed him as a follower. But anyway, maybe I'll have to follow him one day, and then maybe he'll return the follow. And maybe this time, if he returns the follow, he'll actually start watching my show. But probably not. Anyways, enough about that. It was a fun level. It was a great level. I liked it a lot. And Marfa, I'm sure he liked it at least a little bit too. He likes the Mario Maker 2 game in general. I would say probably too much. So if he likes your level, it doesn't necessarily say a whole lot about you as a maker. But you know, take that as what however you will. Anyways, but it's always fun to watch him play one of your hard levels. So if you make a hard level and need somebody to beat it, Marfa might be your guy. Anyways, then we have a comment, something about this was really well designed. He knew instantly what to do. So this was a demo level, so this was just showing you sort of gimmick, I guess you could say, with coins for collection. I don't know how to explain it, but I made this sometimes, like when people are collecting coins, they're playing one of your coin collection levels, they get confused about something that's a little bit tricky. This happened in Coin Grab Gauntlet number 7, as I recall. There was a grinder with a coin behind it. And so here's the thing, if you have a grinder, it's like a 3x3 sized part, but you can put stuff behind it. So you can put coins behind it. Now you could put 9 coins behind a grinder because it's a 3x3, right? But only the coin in the middle is completely invisible to players. So you put a coin behind the grinder, they might not see it. They especially won't see it if it's in the middle. But it can still be collected in theory, especially if you're riding a Yoshi. You could just have Yoshi eat it with his tongue, and then you get the coin. You could also damage boost, which is unfortunately what a lot of people chose to do, which in other words, you get hit on purpose, and then you jump up and grab the coin that way while Yoshi's running around panicking, and then you jump back on Yoshi. That was happening. Anyways, the point is, in 8 of those spaces, the coin is visible, but I would say obviously like in the corners, because like the grinder is round. In the corners, the coins are probably the most visible to the average person, right? Whereas the top, bottom, left, and right positions of a coin are going to be harder to see. And so, yeah, it's basically the level is a check for if the player can see the coins. Now, because the coins, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure if they're exactly like Bitcoins or not, but I think they might spin. I don't know if they do or not, but it might depend on the style you're playing too. But if they're spinning, that may mean that they're spinning sideways, and that means the roundedness of them, it's not the same, right? So it kind of like becomes ovular as it rotates, if that makes sense. And then while it's doing that, it has less space, like on the left and the right, pixels for you to look at to see the coin, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure if this was happening or not. It might have been for the grinder, or maybe these could have been just like skinny coins too. They might have been ovular coins in the first place. But whatever the reason, I think the left and right coin positions were harder to see than the top and bottom coin positions on the grinder, or behind the grinder. So I just thought that was very interesting, how much harder it was to see the ones on the side. Anyways, and so I decided to up a little level like that, and that's what that level was. And then somebody else says it would have took me a minute to figure out what to do. So we have some different opinions on that. Anyways, what else do we have here? If you want to use the same playback rate for the second part as for the first, it was 1.75. So this was kind of like a video editing curiosity comment that I was just like giving to people in case they wanted to know. Not really a big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and heart it, 'cause why not? Speaking of which, we should probably heart some other stuff. Sure, we'll heart that one. This one says stay frosty. We'll heart that one. Why not? We'll heart that one. Excuse me. So we have, I don't know if I could draw that test, it looks so hard. So this is me playing Switch Boss level. So this was the guy that was making some pretty hard levels in Mario Maker 2. I'm not sure if this was the very first level of his that I first cleared or not. It might have been. And I think I may have seen him in somebody else's chat and told him I was a streamer or something like that, and then he showed up and started watching my stream for a while. Anyways, the hype for Mario Maker 2 has kind of died, so kind of nobody watches me play Mario Maker anymore, but anyway, nobody watches me play League either, and people still comment on my League videos, so we could still upload stuff to YouTube, I guess. Anyway, this guy had this funny level where at the time, like, I felt like this was a seriously intense exercise. Like, you had to, like, be careful and, like, jump on the Goombas. Like, but there were so many of them, they kept coming out of the pipes. If you're not careful about it, you could end up walking into Goomba accidentally, or just, like, bumping into one while you're trying to jump or fall down or whatever. So, it was pretty interesting. So you had to defeat lots of them. Like, I'm not sure how many there were, dozens if not hundreds of them. Anyways, there was like dozens of pipes with Goombas coming out of them. Anyways, and there was like 10 per pipe or whatever, so there's probably like defeat 200 Goombas or something. Anyways, and the funny thing is the differently colored pipes meant there was differently paced Goomba exits, I guess is the way to say that. The Goombas exiting the pipes at different speeds, depending on whatever the color of the pipe was. So it was not an unfair level. It was just difficult. Like, everything about it was just fine. It was challenging, that's all. And so that was one thing that I appreciated about Switch Boss. A lot of his levels were exactly that. Not all of them were, but the ones that were, I really liked a lot. Anyways, and so somebody else said, I don't know if I could endure it, because it was an endurance challenge, that's for sure. That's why I said Goomba's endurance. Anyways, Goomba's endurance test, right? So, moving on, we have a video Muffin playing automatic camera scroll coin collecting number 8. Somebody said the Switch Boss had a nice little clear time. Referring to the world record, I guess, at the time. I don't know if it's still the world record now or not, but it might be. Anyways, we have, I forgot to trim the first 10 seconds of the song. This was me making a video while I was doing some singing. I haven't really been doing much of that with my singing videos. I probably should do more of it. Blah, blah, blah. We don't have to read too much into my comments in particular, I suppose. Banned in Dota 2 for no reason. Oh yeah, this was, this is interesting. I don't think I'm still banned right now, but instead of being banned right now, I think I have like a low ability to interact with the team or whatever. I think I'm unable to use voice chat entirely at the moment, which is odd, but yeah, I think I could type freely, but I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I can't all chat, who knows? I don't really know. I don't really play the game nowadays and right now anyway. But I could if I wanted to. I mean, it's not that much different from like League of Legends as far as like having like it basically, as far as I could tell, has a very corrupted matchmaking system and blah blah blah. They update it pretty relatively often. Actually, they don't update it as often as League of Legends, whatever that's worth. If you care about that kind of thing or not, I don't know. Anyway, but the games actually tend to run a bit longer on average, I think, than League of Legends games do. Anyway, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It's a nice game, but it's just the community is kind of trash. Blah, blah, blah. I could get into it, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. But I mean, mostly, I would get banned in Dota 2, I think, because people would falsely report me, and just the bots would just say, okay, sure, yeah, we'll punish them, because so many people would do it. Basically, what's happening is people will sort of like blame you or gaslight you, whatever, they'll scapegoat you, whatever you want to call it. They're gonna make you out to be the villain because people like need a villain in their lives, and then you have a few different options what you can do about that. And an option that I usually chose is stand up for myself, which, you know, they don't like that, so they retaliate. Like, okay, I'm gonna report you, and then they get you punished unfairly, and that's essentially what's happened, I'm sure, something like that. You can watch the video if you want to see, but it'll show you like a video where I got reported in by troublemakers, and you could see the troublemakers doing something horrible that they should not be doing and they should be ashamed of for doing, and I'm the one getting punished because they're being bad players. So anyway, there's not a whole lot else to say about that. Then we have me saying, yeah, Bloodseeker had each of his abilities learned other than his ultimate at that point. So he already had bonus attack speed in that fight in the trees. I'm not sure why I mentioned that, but I'm sure it's relevant. The messages you may wish to review that may help you decide are at the following times in the video. What is this? Splicing 5 stories with League of Legends bottom main. This is kind of a fun video. I'm not sure why I left this comment. I'm not sure what it's trying to tell us. Maybe this is just like me a little bit unsure if... Oh, this was a message to Jaden herself, right? Yeah, that's why I left this comment. And the funny thing was, I asked her, is it alright if I make this video public or whatever, right? Like, it was unlisted or something. I don't know if it still is, it probably is public right now, but I'm not sure. I remember she just said, like, ask my video editor for permission or something. No. I wanted to ask them both. I think the video editor already said yeah, and she just, like, never responded or something. That's probably what happened. Anyways, whatever. I just wanted to make sure that they both said yes, and she didn't say yes, but I was just like, whatever. I think it's just implied that the answer is yes. Anyway, so eventually I think I made it public, but I put this in the meantime because I was like, I don't know. I guess I just wanted a reaction out of her, and she just didn't want to give one or whatever. She was too busy. Anyways, moving on. I think it was kind of cool. So the funny thing here is that she's got a very good video editor. I just want to clarify that. So essentially, what he did was he would take the clips that either he and others have made. A lot of the times he would use my clips because I'm a power clipper, so why not, right? Let's go to the power clippers clips and use theirs. And I think he probably used like an automatic program too that like scans like clips or something for him, or like loads them onto his PC or whatever. And so that like whenever I take a clip on her channel, like automatically starts getting views, which is weird. When it's just like 1 or 2 views. Anyways, but what was I saying? So Anyway, that's why I think he's got some kind of system set up for that. But the point is he just like takes a bunch of videos. I mean, it's more complicated. He actually does he plays like a lot of additional media. Like he plays like some music from like video games potentially or whatever, and sometimes it's not video games too. I think maybe, but anyways, and he'll what is it? He just does like fancy stuff, like zoom in on her camera, like fancy video effects. He like stuff that you can imagine the YouTubers will do that's fancy in their videos. He does this stuff with the video editing, and he did it for multiple videos, and I probably linked in the description or at some point. There's probably shows you the videos where I got the highlights. But anyways, I just found 5 highlights from across like I don't know how many videos, maybe 3, maybe more, maybe less. But anyway, the point is I thought these 5, if I link them all together with his video editing already there, just link the 5 different highlights from videos together. I just think that would look really cool. Like in my mind, it's kind of like, it's hard to explain, but if you watch the video, you'll probably understand what I mean. It's essentially like me adapting what he already did for his video, and just presenting it like that. It's basically, it's not really my own content. It's just me, displaying his content again and adding some comments though, so that's why I put this message here, because I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 comments in total to the 5 highlights. Okay, so that's why it's transformative or whatever you want to call it, the combination of the splicing and the comments being added. But it was mostly his stuff already done. It was just me sort of representing his stuff. Of course, he's representing what she's done, so it's kind of like a domino effect, if that makes sense. Well, I think it came out really good. I think it's a very well produced highlight video, personally, in my own opinion. But I haven't really gotten any compliments on it. But whatever. Anyways, moving on. I wouldn't mind if somebody did something like this for me, but first I have to hire a video editor. Actually, I'm a lot better to listen to at 1.5 times speed. Just flamed myself. I talk so slow, so just playing the video at 1.25 speed. Right, that's why I said that, yeah. Yeah, I've been kind of a slow talker over the years. I probably am slow talking now. It probably used to be worse, though, in any case, but whatever. Anyway, this was me talking about, we had some ARAM videos. And for whatever reason, these are 2 different videos, believe it or not. They're both on ARAM, so I'm sure, the blue, it looks similar, but if you look at it closely, you will notice these are 2 different thumbnails here. Those are 2 different videos indeed. One says Mundo Tank ARAM, and the other one says Tank Blitz on ARAM. Anyway, apparently I decided to highlight me playing an ARAM game. Anyway, snare warning bug is present on all gen skins and has been around since the rune rework patch because of summon area. Wait, what? If you have summon area, it makes your snare warning weird. I wonder if they fixed that. I have no idea. Anyways, Kill's just looking at the edge of the snare instead of its entire width and realizing that the visual width is skinnier than the original and that she would therefore still be in the snare's width. Anyway, Udyr slowed down trying to juke a snare warning that never came. Oh, interesting. So, invisible Gen Ws, I guess is what we're talking about here, with summon area or something. Once again, I have no idea if that's been fixed or not. Summon Area is not exactly a rune that people would think to take on Jhin. So I haven't been playing Jhin, and people have not been picking Summon Area on non-enchanters much. I've been seeing people pick it on Malzahar. I'm not sure why they take it, because I feel like Comet's just as good, but whatever. People usually take Comet on like Aurelion Sol, for example, and his gameplay style is very similar to Malzahar. I wouldn't be surprised if there are Aurelion Sol players that take Summon Area. That's not exactly the point here. The point is that Summon Area could be taken on Jhin. I've probably taken it on Jhin just to experiment at one point or another. I'm not sure why I would have, but maybe it's just because it's guaranteed damage, it's not dodgeable, unlike Comet, and it's consistent damage, unlike Dark Harvest, where it requires them to be low. I think Dark Harvest is better, though. If you think about it, like, when do you really need to damage them? When you want to kill them. So, if they're low, you have your passive, you have execute damage. You might as well increase the execute damage by using Dark Harvest. So, I think Dark Harvest is great on Jhin. But if you don't want to go Dark Harvest, you can go Electrocute. I think Electrocute, if you can trigger it reliably, is much, much, much better than Summon Area. But again, it depends, I guess. Anyways, blah, 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 whatever. The nice thing about Summon Area is that it can be defensive, and that's why people would rather take it on an enchanter generally. I think personally they should buff this for enchanters, but what do I know? Anyways, moving on. I tend to take like more independent keystones on enchanters when I play them, actually, but we don't really need to talk about that. We have a video with me singing. Somebody says, "Good video, keep it up." Turner Gershwin. Thanks, Trax777. I'm sorry that I haven't done what you asked, more or less. I did do one additional video, and that's kind of been about it. I really do need to upload more, I guess, but I haven't gotten around to it. Something about me posting a list. I think he means a deck list. Execution of Evolve, sacrificing shaman minions. Just the Hearthstone video. This was just a long time. I don't even know what to say about this. Then I said, it's not much different from the Dark recipe. For this game, it appears I swapped out Tunnel Trog for the Murloc Tidehunter, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. So I seem to help that person out. Very entertaining video. Keep it up. You got potential. Keep uploading if you don't mind. Check out my YouTube channel. Thanks, fellow YouTuber. This was a lesson due to linguistics. So this was me talking about another person's article, I guess, maybe. Yeah, I was just reading somebody else's article online and talking about it. I don't remember what this is. I'm kind of curious now, but... Alright, what does this say? You traitor. I think it means to say Traitor, but he wrote Trader, which is a completely different word, but it probably sounds the same to him. One's a T and one's a D. One people just for them it's like the same letter. Anyway, this is in reference to a video where I was talking about going from Dota to League. I was making it into a series, but I haven't really continued it. I think it might only have the one episode. I'm not really sure. Maybe there's a few more, but it's probably nothing all that interesting to watch, I would imagine. Now that you said it, he's better as utility, but why headdress? Okay, so this is me talking about Slark. He doesn't have to be like the carry. And so, I was using Shadow Blade and stuff, and Drow Ranger is using Shadow Blade, and there was a highlight of both of us in the same game. Did I never reply to that? Anyway, we'll go ahead and like it, whatever. This is an example of why I hate recording in 720p. The FPS is low after keep rewinding. This is back when I had really bad PC, I guess, or internet, or both, or whatever. Oh, I did respond to him to keep allies alive. I don't like them rushing off to the fountain every other minute. Yeah. Your movement speed is slower. It means they can right-click you down, except the interface is bugging out. It's not that complicated, dude. Warcraft 3, it just doesn't happen. I was talking about Dota 2 bugs. That's interesting. So Dota 2 has lots of bugs. In fact, Slark had a really big bug for a super long time. I would still play him because I liked him so much. But one bug that bothered me so much was that his Q was not working like it did in Warcraft 3 at all. So the problem was, it was doing everything that it was supposed to be doing with one exception. It was supposed to purge debuffs from Slark about 10 times over the course of like a second or so. Okay? And it just wasn't doing that. It only did it once. Which was a big issue. Huge issue. Because what would happen was you were supposed to be like essentially frequently getting your debuffs purged from your hero as Slark. So if people try to stun you during that short time frame of about a second, I'm not sure how long it was, maybe it was a second and a half, maybe it was 2 seconds, it doesn't really matter. The game's pretty fast paced, especially when Slark builds up more and more and more agility. He can get pretty good amount of done during that period of time where he's constantly getting his debuffs purged. The point is he wasn't getting advantage of that in Dota 2. Eventually, they fixed the bug. He now gets the multiple purging of debuffs now from his Q. But for like more than a year, I want to say maybe even more than 2 years of Slark being in Dota 2, he did not have this multiple purges attached to his Q. It was only a single purge. And it was horrible. I hated it. And it really held me back, I think, in matchmaking, because it was kind of like my main, I guess you could say, more or less, for lack of a better way of explaining how much I played him. But yeah, it was rough. And in any case, this is a completely different video where I was talking about a different bug. I don't know if I actually made a video for Slark's Q. I feel like it's unnecessary. Maybe at the time I also did and I never made one. I don't know. But for whatever reason, people were commenting on this video in any case, where I was talking about tower circling. So how do I want to explain this? Like I said, in Warcraft 3, this didn't happen. So how can I explain what was happening? If you are... let's say this word right here is a tower. So if you run around the tower, let's say you run around the tower like this, relatively slowly, right? And somebody else runs around the tower fast, or at least they should, in theory. Let's say they are, I don't know, twice as fast as you, 3 times as fast as you, 5 times as fast as you, it doesn't matter. The point is they're faster than you, and if you were running in a straight line, you would catch up to them relatively quickly, right? Or they would catch up to you, whatever I'm trying to say. The person chasing would catch the person if it was just running in a straight line. But in Dota 2, they had this funny bug where you could run slowly around a tower, and somebody who's much faster than you cannot catch you. Like, I'm not joking, I can't make this crap up. Like, you click on them, and your character will just move just as slowly as they move. Weird. think they probably fixed it, but it took forever. It might have even taken, I don't know if it took longer to fix than the Slark Q bug or not, but obviously, like, it's a bigger deal, like, in general. than the Slark bug, like, because, like, I mean, it's game wide, like, everybody has to deal with it, not just Slark and whoever is in his team or on the enemy team, but also just like everybody in the game that's gonna chase someone. And how often does that happen? Probably almost every single game. So that's just ridiculous that it took so long for them to fix it. Anyway, we had another video in Dota 2, it's bad Windrunner and high Dota matchmaking. Yeah, so at one point or another, I guess I was probably like taking advantage of the spectator system, so that might have been what this was. And I was just like criticizing some players that supposedly have a really high rank or whatever. Or I'm sure they still do, or at least did. But anyways, yeah, the matchmaking has been pretty corrupted in these team games, so I wouldn't take what people that are high ranked say too seriously in general. If they have anything good to say, they might just be repeating it from somebody else. It's hard to say, but and they might have a lot of bad things to say too, so I would just be careful. If you try to take advice from high-ranked players in these kinds of games, especially because they could have ulterior motives for telling you whatever it is that they're telling you. Anyway, somebody has a comment about Basilius being good for her early game, and she is building mechanism, headdress, and buckler. So, I was probably criticizing like her item build or something like that, and this person is sort of like countering me and like suggesting that I'm wrong or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, somebody had a comment, it's not a bug, it's called turning. Try Bat Rider 4 napalm stock and above and turn. Like, no, it's not about the turn right, dude. It may have some relevance to the developers, but this is literally just movement speed, bruh. It's not complicated. Anyway, we have a video where I said I don't understand why this is my most viewed video. Any insight? Compendium match sample first week. This was 11 years ago. I don't know what to say about this. Back when Dota 2 came out, which might have been 11, 12, something like that years ago, like, it was kind of a big deal on Steam, that people were hyped for it. So I think this is just a simple fact of the game being hype. Like, I don't think I made a great video. Like, it was probably a garbage video. I have no idea what it even was, but it might have been something like a highlight of a few different games or something. I'm not sure exactly. Anyways, it was probably like a review of me playing the game with the compendium or something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter what it was. It probably wasn't very much fun to watch, but people watched it anyway because it was another Dota 2 video and there weren't enough of those because like limited access or something maybe. Anyway, scrub game and low matchmaking bracket comment. Yeah, probably true. I think Kana Jean was talking about in your home. Do you mean Kanada Jean? I'm not sure if that's what they mean or not. Anyway, and somebody else responded, exactly, who really cares? I didn't say I was irritated. This is a different video. You have a video of somebody saying first on carry style Vengeful Spirit. That's kind of funny because Vengeful Spirit is normally thought of as a support. And she has been made as a better support in Dota 2, blah blah blah. I like the changes they've made to her. If I was to play Dota 2, I'd probably play more Vengeful Spirit, to be honest, rather than Slark. Anyways, but I don't really play that game. First mission was the magical barriers irritated me. What? Oh, the Dota 2 tutorial. Interesting. So Diva says, you got irritated so many times without reading the tutorial text, and you should understand. Yeah, this guy was being weird. You didn't get the idea of the tutorial. They made everything you said is buggy or not done right, are done purposefully. After all, they can't teach or train like your friend introduced the games next to you. I said, they made new tutorials completely different. Looks like I had good points after all. So this is basically somebody gaslighting me, telling me that I was wrong. He's basically white knighting for Valve for the Dota 2 tutorial. Like, I literally uploaded this on July 1st, 2013, criticizing the Dota 2 tutorial, and they scrapped the Dota 2 tutorial and made new ones. And then I left a comment saying this. We're gonna heart that one. Now, obviously, Valve recognized the flaws. Whether or not they watched my video, who knows? But they're certainly not gonna give me any credit. They never give me credit for anything. Neither does Riot, for that matter. I remember I suggested that Shaco, for his traps, should get AP scaling. Well, they already had AP scaling. But what I mean is, for the trap duration. And what do you know? They added it. But you want to know what? There was never a patch note for them adding AP duration scaling on Shaco traps. They never put out a patch note for it, which is weird. Especially because that was a suggestion that I made on their forums that they had at the time. They took those forums down since then, and now they mostly just will use Reddit or something like that, but Reddit or Twitter. And it's funny because I know they used my idea, but it's kind of funny that they didn't make it a patch note. That's really weird because I didn't realize right away. And I couldn't say, hey, this was my idea as soon as it came out. It was just like, you notice on Wikipedia, because people will notice this stuff and observe it, and the documentarians get at it, and they'll cover it. Speaking of which, they might have it actually recorded when it was changed. I'm kind of curious about that now. Not sure if it's if they have it marked down or not. Oh. See, here we go. Undocumented. So Jack in the Box spawned by the clone's explosion. Now trigger Malignant's hate fog. Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense. This was mostly probably undocumented because Malignance was a new item, and it can be a bother to mention all the fixes for Malignance, because that sounds like it was a bug fix. Anyways, Jack in the Box, mana cost, bonus damage, bug fix, no longer killed in one hit but basic attack of Void Grub. That sounds hilarious. Hallucinate, blah blah blah, don't care. Jack in the Box, mana cost increased. Okay. Hallucinate, don't care. Jack in the Box. Boxes no longer instantly die to Hextech and Drake's empowered basic attack. Not properly deals bonus damage. Cooldown reduced to 15 seconds from 16. Duration AP ratio increased. Okay, well this is obviously the change was older than this. Multi-target AP ratio, blah blah blah. Bug fix. Attack from boxes now benefit from rise and focus. Monster damage. Mana flow band. Box duration reduced. Interesting. This is probably in response to the fact that it added AP scaling. I feel like this change should be reverted, because I feel like even with AP scaling, I feel like the boxes do not last long enough. Like, just play Teemo if you want longer bombs. Like, Shaco, I feel like not only could the duration be buffed, but they could also buff the AP scaling, in my opinion. I feel like the scaling is too low. But this video isn't about that. Just trying to look. I don't know. We're just kind of going on a rant here at this point, but I'm genuinely curious if it got documented by the experts here or not. I mean, it probably did somewhere, but anyway. New effect fires at all nearby enemies. But it increases if it's only attacking one enemy. For your duration increased against non-champs. Movement speed reduced. Granting assist. Vision will just reveal them, not trigger them on top of that. No longer count as words for the purpose of blah blah. Correctly reveals itself from brush and fog of war when triggered. Boxes killed, increasing the minion killed stat. Got removed, right? So that was a bug fix. Targetable hitbox increased to 50 units from 25. Well, that's interesting. I think I might have forgot about that. No triggers revealed, but they changed that. Oh yeah, I thought it was might have been a bug fix or something. I don't know, but whatever. No, this is a balance change, I guess. Anyways, revealed boxes will re-enter stealth once the revealing effect ends. That's funny. Yeah, that was pretty old change. Like, by triggering it though, like, you actually potentially like could damage something, so they went back and forth on deciding what was fair, blah blah blah, for one person or the other and stuff. Stealth traps, box health increased, and blah blah blah. Box arm time changed, boxes die instantly, turret shots. Box duration is a 5% AP ratio, okay. Yeah, it's pretty small. It does say no effect. So this is back in 6.22. I'm pretty sure this wasn't in the... I don't know if it is. This is not a link to the original patch notes, is it? No. It's just a link to their own website. Yeah. Anyways, the 6.22 change, if that's indeed when it was, which it probably was, didn't document all of this stuff. Some of this stuff is, I think, undocumented. But yeah, it was probably in a big ol' assassin update where they updated a bunch of assassins. They updated him too and gave him that and just forgot to mention it. Well, I would have noticed if it had been mentioned. So I know it wasn't mentioned in patch notes. And it wouldn't be the first time that they forgot to mention something. In fact, they will oftentimes own up to it and say, hey, this was a change that we had made in the previous patch or in like 2 patches ago or whatever the case may be. And they'll say, we're just telling you that we made the change here in this patch note, just that way it's covered. They start to do that now, which is really cool. I'm glad that they do that. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, that it was kind of awkward that they didn't put it in there. But I don't know if this is actually true or not, but I don't know, I think 6.22, I could be wrong, and this might just be speculation, but I think maybe the change wasn't made at 6.22. If that's the case, that would mean that I checked out Shaco and complained and said he needs more, and then they responded to that by adding the ratio, and then the Wikipedia guys didn't know where to put it, and they just put it there. That might have happened, I'm not sure. It wouldn't surprise me. Like, they wouldn't know where to put it because they never put it in the patch notes. So I can't blame them for putting it there and just assuming that that's where it belongs, because they wouldn't know any different. It's a safe assumption for them to make. But anyway, and who knows, maybe I could have checked it out and not noticed, but I doubt it. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. I wasn't really a huge Shaco player over the years anyways, and I would prefer to play Teemo 9 times out of 10 at least nowadays, mostly because his traps actually last 5 minutes and Shaco's don't. Even if you give him lots of AP, it's not going to do much for his trap duration. They last, 40 seconds, it said. That was the latest thing that it said. Now, they probably still last that long. Maybe take a look. They're just going to tell you what the current information is. It's probably going to say 40 seconds. If it doesn't say 40 seconds, I guess that would mean that, yeah, it's exactly like the patch notes said, 40 plus 10% AP. So, like right now, they had doubled it, but is it enough? Let's consider. So, if you buy, I don't know, let's say you buy the free crits item, that's 115 AP. Now you buy like, I don't know what you want to get, like a death cap maybe, or maybe you need a Banshee's Veil, because otherwise people are going to like make it harder for you to escape. Okay, so let's get a Banshee's Veil. Let's see how much this stuff, how much AP it's going to give. So, I don't remember how much this is, 120. So we got 120 plus 115, so that's 235, right? So, let's calculate this real quick. So 235, boy, it's like 23.5 seconds. That's like a little bit over a minute. That's like nothing. That's like nothing, right? 0.1 plus 40. See? 63 seconds. Like that's you buy 2 whole items of AP and you increase it by 50%. 50% of 40 is 60. Like, bruh. Like, Teemo at level 6, no additional AP items. He should buy AP anyway, but that's not the point. 300 seconds. You know how much longer 300 is compared to 63? Right? It's almost 5 times longer. 4.76 times longer duration. Anyways, alright, let's stop ranting about trap durations. And that's why I don't play Shaco. I'd rather play Teemo, because the traps actually last longer. Anyways, Even Jin, his traps last like 3 minutes. That's pretty good. It's 180 seconds. It's a lot longer than Shaco. You'd think Shaco could at least build enough AP to outlast Jin's traps, but nope. Anyways. That's enough talking about that. Alright, so this is me. There's like a Naga Siren video that I uploaded. No school like the old school, supporting with a carry in Dota 2. Right, I was talking about using Naga Siren as a support rather than a carry. You can support with every hero, but you cannot carry with every hero, he says. There's more often than not a waste to play as a carry support. I was probably talking about this in the video at some point or another, and somebody else like backtalked me about that, so he didn't agree with me clearly. Obviously, I'm not gonna like his comment because I don't agree with him. I feel like there's a lot of toxic people in Dota 2 that like completely don't agree with anything I say for the most part. They just constantly think I'm like talking like an idiot. I just think people they really believe firmly in other people that aren't me, and they're not willing to believe that those people could be wrong sometimes with some of their opinions or whatever. Anyway, hoping one day you'll be a famous Dota player. Useful guys, thanks so much for the. I don't know if he was being sarcastic or not, maybe not, but this is a pretty old video. So, if you were not being sarcastic, thanks. If you were, thanks, I guess. Either way, like, it's fine. I don't really care one way or the other. Appreciate the comment. Somebody says it's a standard build, so who cares if she's a bad player? And I'm like, did you miss the point of the video? Okay, Lucas Zorak. I appreciate you not flaming the crap out of me like that guy did, talking about it on this video. But, here's the thing. Matchmaking is corrupted. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to. People could be good or bad at every rank. So if there's a bad player at a rank where there are supposed to be good players, well, that's because matchmaking is corrupted. I think that's the point I was trying to make with this video. If you missed it, I'm sorry. If you don't believe me, well, maybe you haven't played enough of some of these team games to figure that out yet, but that's the way it is. This video, I'm not sure what the heck's going on. Maybe somebody worried about my health or something. I was posting a video about Argonine or something like that. I don't know what the heck P5P is. Anyways, this was a really old video, 11 years ago, so I obviously wasn't in a great spot physically. Haven't been for some time, blah, blah, blah. Video, how to play the carry known as anti-mage. I mean, like 10, I don't know who I was responding to. Let's just start ignoring some of my comments for a moment here. Why do you sound like you're eating all the time? That was probably something to do with microphone quality or something. I don't know. My microphone quality's been pretty bad for a lot of these YouTube videos, I'm not gonna lie. Get good software recorder. I don't even think I have a good one now, but it's probably better than whatever I was using back then. 3 blink daggers are Magnus and Enigmas and Templar Assassin's blink daggers, though, not Sven's. Oh, I must have been commenting on something about Sven. Not sure why I was talking about Sven, but blah blah blah. We're just talking about shoes at home. To an extent I agree, but the idea is you might have been treading and walking somewhere dirty. Even normal footprints can have all sorts of germs on them, so the idea is you don't tread that into the household floors, especially on carpets or anything else that might get stained. Even if you don't tread in animal poop, mud, or a lot of dirt, it's meant to prevent contamination. Which makes sense. Basically, I think this video response that I made was probably a relatively short video. At least I'd like to hope it was. I think I kind of was just saying that maybe you don't take your shoes off for, well, I don't know, I might add on this new reason that I came up with recently where you might be protecting your nervous system. Maybe I should respond to this video that I made. Do like an updated version of it. Oh my goodness. But yeah, and also something like, you know, you just don't want to get your own feet dirty from the floor being dirty, right? Which, you know, would obviously potentially protect your nervous system. But yeah, I think the more glaring reason why you'd want to protect your nervous system is less so you worrying about your feet getting dirty, and more so you worrying about what it could do to your like spleen or whatever, like just your body just like not appreciating like the cold floor or whatever temperature it is, I guess, or just the hardness of it, or that you have to walk on, maybe. But I think that I'm leaning more towards the temperature. But it really also depends on your overall state of health too, I guess, potentially. Anyway, let's talk for another video, I guess. $27.35. He got 3 blink daggers, bro. It's called Battle Furies. Okay, he's probably misquoting me here, and so that's why I responded to that earlier. So Sven had the 3 Battle Furies. There's the extra context that we needed to understand my comment. So Sven had 3 Battle Furies, but he did not have a blink dagger, I guess, right? Probably. And then 3 other characters in that game did have their own blink daggers. And anyway, he either misheard me, which is totally possible. I've had some pretty low microphone quality, so I wouldn't blame somebody for mishearing me with my low microphone quality. Or maybe he just like, I don't know. Anyways, whatever. Moving on. I don't really have a strong opinion on this comment, whether or not it should be liked or not. Now this, on the other hand, is obviously flame. If this shows anything, you do not belong in the highest skill bracket. Dude, like, I could go there if I like cheated my way there, I guess. I suppose, but I don't want to cheat. So, because I don't want to cheat, I don't deserve to. Sure, why not? Like, does it even matter? Like, does it matter which bracket you're at? Probably not. I mean, theoretically, if you're at a higher bracket, people might take you more seriously, whatever you have clout or whatever. But how much does the clout really benefit you as a person? I mean, you could influence people. You could have power over them to make them believe you, whatever you say. Like, is that important to you? Is that gonna, like, benefit your life? Is it gonna benefit their lives? These are interesting questions that people probably don't think about. Anyways, moving on. I think in some cases, some of the people that cheated to get their way into higher ranks, and then they just like squandered their opportunity of like influencing people. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's something that I've like complained about over the years. For example, back when I was playing a lot of Slark, and I would say, so Slark has a bug. Like, people didn't care that he had a bug, because I wasn't a high-ranking player, right? But in League of Legends, somebody's like a top-rated Shen player, you know, he complains about a Shen bug. Well, they're gonna fix that. I guess what I mean to say is, like, the community has to take notice of the YouTuber, and then the game developers will take notice of the YouTuber. That's usually how it goes. So yeah, my video quality has been trash, so I haven't really been getting noticed or appreciated, or whatever we're gonna call it. When I had a patch changes video a while back, somebody said hi on that. I'm not sure who this was, probably one of my Dota 2 associates. somebody that we played a game with at some point or another. Hello. Health video. So we're talking about the title. It is a weird title. It's kind of cringy. I'm surprised this video has as many views as it does, blah blah blah. But anyways, whatever. I don't know, sometimes I'm weird. Something about the shoes. How does carpet did you take off your shoes make sense? If it's a wood, concrete, marble, tiled floors, it could be cold and slippery, so you would not remove your shoes. You wouldn't want to force your guests to walk on cold floors, right? And so that's good. That's what I'm talking about. With that's what I wanted to. That's kind of why I was thinking about doing a follow-up video. But this comment kind of covers a really good point here. They just don't necessarily explain it very well necessarily, but I think it's fine. It's good enough. It's better than the limited thing that I was saying, I'm sure. Anyway, a picture of me showing off an owl shirt. Sorry about the volume. I'm not sure why I said that. It was probably too quiet or something. Anyway, alright. Well, that's a lot of comments. It's probably going to be the longest one of these yet. It is almost 2 hours me going over these comments. So those are published comments now that we've gone over. Thank you for the compliment on Yuffie and Sonon defeating the super bosses in the DLC for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I may have skipped that one at the very beginning. This one says, mix it all into the bowl and then put it into the pan. Okay, I didn't reply to this officially, so let me reply to this in the video. It makes no difference, really. Unless you enjoy, scraping or licking out of the bowl. Like, I already have to lick off of, or scrape off of the spatula. Like, why do I want to do it out of the bowl too? You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you want to do, more power to you if you enjoy doing that. But I'm trying not to waste the ingredients, even if it's just small remnants of it. And I'm not about to go to use, anyways. I'm not going to get a bowl just for that specifically. But, anyways, I will say, if you want to make flour, dough, if you want to make dough, and I don't know, I guess maybe you put it in the fridge or something, I don't know what else you would do with it, then yes, you would use a big bowl, you would mix it all in the big bowl, you would put it into the frying pan, like he says. In fact, you could make smaller, pancakes, I guess, doing that. But just put a small amount of the dough in there at a time and cook it that way. That's definitely a method that I could try. The point is, you could store it up and keep cooking multiple times. I don't know if I want to use the fridge, though, for that. I don't know how safe that would be, blah, blah, blah. But his suggestion's not terrible. And anyways, if you do it that way, it's gonna be less like I'm slicing pie, with the final product. And you know what I mean? Or a cake or whatever. And it would definitely be a different experience. So I guess the proper way to respond to this is, I suppose if I really wanted a smaller, let's word this a little bit differently. All right. So that was, yeah, the more I thought about it, that's actually a really good comment. Like, he didn't necessarily explain why I should do it, but thinking about it, I can sort of come up with reasons why that might be a good idea, and so we threw that out there. I think we've gone over pretty much everything now. That's great. I may have missed a few comments here and there. I'm sorry if you're left out, but I think that's pretty much everything. I have had non-published comments that had been held for review in the past, and I may have rejected some of those. But yeah. We got to see all of them on the screen as I scrolled through them, I guess. So if I missed something and you want me to talk about it, let me know in the comments, and maybe we'll talk about it in the comments. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody.